If I told you there's a way to make an extra $1,000 a month that nobody on YouTube is talking about, you'd probably think I was full of it. Especially if I told you that you could start it tomorrow with almost no startup costs. Even more crazy, you could do it in less than 10 hours a week. Most people are out here grinding on Fiverr and Upwork, competing with thousands of other freelancers, undercutting each other's prices, barely making minimum wage per hour, and they're wondering why they're not making real money. But there's another lane, a lane that's way less crowded, a lane where you can actually charge real prices and get real results. And the fact that nobody's talking about it makes it even better. Because by the time this becomes mainstream, you'll already be making your $1,000 a month, while everyone else is just starting to figure it out. My name is your name, and I discovered this income stream completely by accident about 2 years ago. I was trying to solve a problem for myself, ended up solving it in a way that people were willing to pay for, and now I'm making consistent money from it with almost zero effort. If you want to discover what this income stream is, and more importantly, how you can start it this week, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now, because I'm about to show you exactly how this works. And trust me, you're going to want to watch this entire video, because the best part is at the end. Okay, so let's first talk about why most side hustles fail. And I mean actually fail, not just underperform. The reason is simple. Most side hustles are based on trading your time for money. You work on Fiverr. You get paid per gig. You drive for Uber. You get paid per ride. You freelance on Upwork. You get paid per project. The problem with time for money models is that they don't scale. You only have 24 hours in a day. Even if you're hustling on the side, you probably only have 5 to 10 hours a week available, which means there's a hard ceiling on how much you can make. If you're doing freelance writing and charging $25 per article, and each article takes you 2 hours, you can make $125 a week. That's roughly $500 a month if you're working consistently. But the moment you get tired, or life gets busy, it all stops. You don't work, you don't earn. There's no leverage. There's no way to scale beyond the hours you're willing to put in. And this is why most people give up on side hustles. They realize they're just trading their time for slightly more money. They're not actually building something. Now, compare that to what happens when you create something that people pay for repeatedly. When you build a product or a service that doesn't require you to be present every single time someone uses it. That's when things get interesting. That's when you can make $1,000 a month without working $1,000 worth of hours. And that's what I'm about to show you. Here's what most people don't realize. There are thousands of small business owners out there making decent money, but absolutely terrible at one specific thing: marketing. They're great at what they do. They might be an accountant who's amazing at accounting, a plumber who's incredible at fixing pipes, a photographer who takes beautiful photos, but they have no idea how to get customers. They're terrible at telling people what they do. They're terrible at converting interest into sales. They're terrible at creating systems that bring in consistent business. And because they're terrible at marketing, they're leaving money on the table. Lots of money. Sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now here's where the opportunity is. What if you could take what you already know about marketing, package it into a service, and sell it to these business owners for $1,000 to $3,000 a month? What if instead of trading hours for money, you could set up one marketing system for one client and have it generate results for months or even years? That's the income stream I'm talking about. It's called a marketing retainer. And before you say you don't know anything about marketing, let me stop you right there. You don't need to be a marketing genius. You don't need a degree. You don't need years of experience. You just need to understand one simple framework that works for almost every local business. And I'm going to teach you that framework right now. This framework has 3 components. First, you help them get clarity on who their ideal customer actually is. Most business owners have no idea. They think their ideal customer is anyone with money who's interested in their service. But that's not how it works. Their ideal customer is a specific type of person with specific problems that your client uniquely solves. Second, you help them create a way to reach those ideal customers consistently. This could be through Google Business Profile optimization, local SEO, social media content, email lists, whatever makes sense for their business. The key is that it's a system they can rely on to bring in leads. Third, you help them convert those leads into customers. Most business owners get leads, but then they mess up the follow-up. They don't respond fast enough. They don't address objections. They don't have a clear sales process. You help them fix that. Now here's the beautiful part. This entire framework can be implemented in 1 to 2 weeks. It doesn't require any fancy software or expensive tools. You can use Google My Business, which is free. You can use email, which is free. You can use simple spreadsheets to track everything. In fact, simple is better because your client actually understands what's happening. And once you get the system set up, it mostly runs on autopilot with minor tweaks from you. You spend maybe 3 to 4 hours a month maintaining it, but you're charging them $1,000 to $3,000 monthly. Do the math. That's $400 to $1,000 per hour of work. That's way better than any freelance gig. Now, the key to making this work is picking the right clients. You don't want to work with everyone. You want to work with business owners who are already profitable. Why? Because if they're already making money, they understand the value of investing in growth. They're not penny pinching. They're not going to negotiate your price down to nothing. They already believe that spending money on marketing is worth it. The best clients are usually service-based businesses. Plumbers, electricians, accountants, lawyers, dentists, real estate agents, fitness coaches, therapists. These people charge high rates. They make good money. And they desperately need more customers, but have no idea how to market themselves. The beauty of targeting these businesses is that they're highly local. You don't need to become a national expert. You can focus on your local area and absolutely dominate. You can become the go-to person in your city who helps local service businesses get more customers. And once you've got 3 or 4 clients paying you $1,000 a month each, you're making $3,000 to $4,000 monthly from maybe 10 to 15 hours of work total. That's incredible leverage. Now here's something important. You might be thinking, how do I actually get these clients? And that's a great question. The answer is, you probably already know some business owners, friends, family, people from church, your gym, your neighborhood. Someone in your network owns a service business and could use help with marketing. Start there. Reach out to them. Tell them about the service you're offering. Offer to do a free consultation to show them what you could do. You're not trying to make a sale in that conversation. You're trying to show them the opportunity. You're trying to show them what better marketing could look like for their business. And then, after they see the results, they'll want to work with you officially. This is how you get your first client without having to be a sales genius. You solve their problem for free, show them the results, and then they become your first paid client. Let me walk you through exactly what this looks like. Let's say your friend owns a local accounting firm. He's good at accounting, but he doesn't get nearly enough clients. His business is stagnant. He's been making the same amount of money for 3 years. So you reach out. You say, "Hey, I've been studying local marketing, and I think I could help you get more customers. Would you be open to a free 30-minute consultation where I show you what that might look like?" Most business owners will say yes because they're curious and it's free. So you have that 30-minute call. And in that call, you ask him questions. How many customers would you like? What's your ideal customer? Where are your current customers coming from? How much does the average customer spend with you? And then, based on his answers, you show him a simple plan. You might say something like, "Here's what I'm seeing. Most of your ideal customers are searching for accountants on Google. But when they search, they find 3 other accountants before they find you. Your Google business profile isn't optimized. Your reviews are old. You don't have any content showing up that proves you're the best. Here's what I think we should do. We should optimize your profile. We should get some new customer reviews. We should create some simple content that shows your expertise. And my prediction is that within 30 days, you'll see an increase in inquiries. Now, you might not have any of this figured out yet, but here's the secret. You figure it out as you go. You do the free consultation. You come up with a plan. Then you go home and you actually implement it. You optimize their Google business profile. You help them ask customers for reviews. You write a few simple posts for their social media about common tax mistakes or financial planning tips. And then after 30 days, you follow up. "Hey, I've made these changes to your marketing. I've gotten you 5 new customer inquiries. These customers specifically mentioned they found you on Google. Here's what I did. Now, would you be interested in having me do this on an ongoing basis?" I'd set up a system where every month I'm generating leads for you through different channels. You'd get somewhere between 3 to 10 leads per month. In exchange, I'd charge you $1,500. Most business owners will say yes to that because they're looking at the results. They can see the leads coming in. Now they understand what you're doing and why it's valuable. So that's your first client. You're making $1,500 a month. Now, here's the thing about retainers. Once you've done this once, you can do it again. You now know exactly what to do. You can literally copy and paste the process with your next client. It might be slightly different depending on their business, but the core framework stays the same. So you land a second client. Maybe it's a dentist. Same process. Free consultation. You make recommendations. You implement them. 30 days later, you show results. And now, they're paying you $1,500 a month. Suddenly, you're at $3,000. Do it one more time with a third client, and you're at $4,500 a month. And now, here's the really interesting part. With 3 clients, you're spending maybe 12 to 15 hours a month. That's about 3 to 4 hours per client. Your time is being leveraged. You're making over $1,000 per hour of work. Most people will never achieve this in their 9-to-5 job. But here's the thing. You can't just land 3 clients and stop there. You have to think about sustainable growth. Maybe you land 1 new client every 2 to 3 months. That gives you time to service your current clients properly while still growing. By this time next year, you could have 5 or 6 clients each paying you $1,000 to $2,000 monthly. That's $5,000 to $12,000 extra per month. That's $60,000 to $144,000 per year. All from a side business that takes 10 to 15 hours a week. And the best part? You can do this while you're still working your full-time job. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Once you're making $1,000 a month, most people would stop. But the real money is in scaling beyond that. Once you've got the system working with your first few clients, you can start thinking about packaging it differently. Maybe instead of charging a flat retainer, you charge based on results. You take a percentage of the new revenue you generate. Or maybe you create a group coaching program where you teach other business owners this exact framework. Or maybe you hire someone to help you service clients so you can take on more without working more hours. Or maybe you package it into an online course and sell it to hundreds of people. The possibilities are endless once you've got your first $1,000 a month. You've proven the concept works. You've proven you can do it. Now it's just a matter of deciding how you want to scale it. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. Right now, the goal is simple. Get your first client. Make your first $1,000. Prove to yourself that this is possible. Because once you've done that once, you'll see opportunities everywhere. Every business owner you meet will suddenly look like a potential client. Every problem you solve will look like a potential service you could sell. You'll start thinking like an entrepreneur instead of an employee. And that mindset shift is worth more than the money itself. Let me be clear about why this beats almost every other side hustle out there. Fiverr, you're competing with thousands of people and clients want cheap. This, you're working with high-value clients who understand ROI. Uber, you're grinding for minimum wage effectively. This, you're making $400 to $1,000 per hour. Online courses, you're hoping people buy your course. This, clients are actively paying you because you're solving a real problem. Dropshipping, you're dealing with inventory, customer service, returns, and competition from Amazon. This, no inventory, no customer service headaches, no competing on price, just pure strategy and results. And here's the real kicker. This side income can actually turn into your main income if you want it to. You get good enough at this. You land enough clients, suddenly you don't need your 9-to-5 job anymore. You've replaced your income with something you control. That's the dream, right? But most people never get there because they're pursuing side hustles that don't actually scale. This one does. Now, I know what you're thinking. I don't know anything about marketing. I've never done this before. I don't have any experience. Here's the truth. You don't need experience. You need willingness to learn. You need to spend a few weeks learning the basics. YouTube has thousands of free videos about local SEO, Google Business Profile Optimization, email marketing, social media marketing. You watch a few hours of content, you understand the fundamentals, and you're ready to go. You know more than most business owners, and that's all that matters. You also might be thinking, what if I mess it up? What if I don't deliver results? Here's the honest answer. You probably will mess up a little bit on your first client. but that's okay. Most business owners won't fire you if you're making an effort and showing some results. And honestly, even if you mess up, you've learned something valuable. You know what not to do next time. Your second client will get way better results because of what you learned on your first client. This is how growth works. You don't start perfect. You start and you learn as you go. All right, so here's the reality. You could watch this video, nod your head, think this is a great idea, and then do nothing. Or you could actually take action. You could reach out to a business owner you know this week. You could have that free consultation conversation. You could show them what's possible. And by next month, you could be making your first $1,000. That $1,000 could change your life. It could be the difference between living paycheck to paycheck and actually building wealth. It could be the difference between staying stuck in a job you hate and having options. It could be the foundation for everything else you want to build. So, here's what I want you to do. First, hit that subscribe button right now, because I'm going to be releasing videos on exactly how to execute each step of this framework. How to do local SEO, how to optimize Google business profiles, how to write email sequences that convert, all of it. Second, leave a comment down below and tell me what service business you're thinking about targeting first, because I want to know what you're planning to do with this information. Are you thinking about going after plumbers, dentists, real estate agents? Let me know in the comments section. Third, share this video with someone you know who owns a service business, because they might need to hire you, and that could be the connection that changes your life. And fourth, if you want me to go deeper on any of this, let me know in the comments, and I might create a follow-up video specifically addressing what you asked for. So hit subscribe, drop a comment, share this video, and I'll see you in the next one, where I'm going to show you the exact email template that converts service business owners into paying clients.